Hey guys, what's up? Patrick 1969 here. We're finally taking a look at the Robot Damashii or Robot Spirit RX-79G ground type Gundam, but this is the special version. This is the desert type, and you can tell it's a special version because of the box, I guess, showing a nice picture of the desert type rising from the sand, holding a bazooka or a rocket launcher, whatever. Front of the box has no number on it, just has that SP logo on it, making sure you know it's special. And taking a look at the side of the box, you can see the ground type standing nice and tall. Looks a little bit different in that color. We'll get to that in a moment. On the back of the box, pretty much what you saw in the regular release. A lot of the same accessories, a few small changes. And then on the opposite side, all the accessories, more features being shown and talked about. And yeah, so this one's supposed to be a special edition. We'll see how special it is and the differences between this and the regular version. Let's open the box and get into it. Before we actually look at the figure itself, let's take a look at the accessories real quick. Really same as the regular release, just a few small differences. We finally get a beam rifle, which we should have gotten with the first one. We get a rocket launcher or bazooka or net launcher, whatever the hell it was from the anime. I can't remember. It's been so long. And then we get some extra effect parts. We have some thruster effect parts and a machine gun effect part as well, but still a lot of the same accessories, a lot of great accessories. The only thing we see missing are the cannon and the storage container for the backpack, so that's a little bit of a downer. Again, I'm loving that they're including a V-fin. It's about time they started doing that again. I can't tell you how much I worry. Still big downer, the shield. It's already 08 on the shield itself. Old gripe, should have came with stickers, but everything looks good, everything looks great. Now let's look at the figure. So here it is, the ground type, desert type Gundam, ground Gundam. God, what a mouthful. A shade different, not gray anymore. It's nice tan color. It kind of comes off a little yellowish on camera, but in person it is the exact shade I expected this thing to be. And the only thing I can say that should be a little different is probably the, what would you call them? The padding or the dust covers over the joints of the mobile suit. So in the anime, these things are in the desert. There's a lot of sand kicking up, a lot of dirt. You don't want that grime and gunk getting into the joints of the mobile suit. Obviously not. So they put these dust covers over everything, and you can see over here on the feet, ankles, and the neck, I think, is different. Yeah, the neck, they put these plastic coverings, or what's supposed to represent those dust covers. Looks accurate, looks pretty spot on. Oh, also a big difference is instead of vent for the chest, we have this different cover. I don't know what the hell it is. But yeah, very show accurate. Let me pull out the old ground type and see the comparisons side by side. Looking at these two figures side by side, I can see some other differences as well. We have some sculpted dust covers under the arms and also behind the knees as well. They're different. These have some more fold lines, I guess, where those covers are. This one doesn't. And also the backpack is a different shade, a little bit lighter than this darker one here. But all in all, yes, just the same figure, slight differences, not bad at all. Okay, it's articulation time, and I always hate doing articulation videos or parts in my reviews just because you've seen all this stuff before. There's nothing different you've seen. Sometimes they're a little bit better, and I'll make a note of saying, you know, why they're better. But for the most part, it's all the same. You got 360 rotation in the shoulders, double joints, double bend joints in the elbows and the knees, good rotation in the wrists. Of course, they can go full 360. And in the head, that's pretty cool. I'll note this, that V-fin does not touch that backpack. So there's no chance of that snagging whenever you're turning the head. Nice to see, and nice to know that we won't probably have to use that spare V-fin anytime soon. What I will note is that this thing does have like a butterfly joint or inward joint in the chest, so that the shoulders can move forward a little bit and you can possibly reach a weapon with two hands. That's not really executed too well with this figure. It doesn't bend inward enough. So it's going to be a bit of a hassle getting that pose down. Say you give this guy the cannon and you want him holding it in the right hand or the left hand, then you want the other hand holding the side bar or whatever, stabilizing bar or whatever. It's hard to do that. It's not really easy. Maybe it's just me. I want these things to be a little bit easier. I mean, hell, if the high grade can pull it off, why can't they do that with the Damashii, especially since the Damashii and the high grades, they're nearly the same. But I digress. You do get some good articulation in the toes. I will note that these ground-type Gundams, their toe articulation is spot on. So you can have him posing on one leg or kneeling down, and he is pretty stable. Skirt armor is basically the same. Nothing moves in the back, on the sides, very limited, but it's the front. You want those skirt armor pieces moving upward so that you can get a good full range of motion when you're kicking upward or posing him, kneeling. That's pretty cool. You do have some extra give on the inside of the hip, so you can pose him however you want. So it is, you are capable of posing this figure in a variety of ways. However, it's just that whole weapon holding issue that I'm just not enjoying. The GMs, the Zaku 2s, they've gotten that down, so I don't know why they didn't do that with this figure. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm the one having the issue. But for the price tag, we should have had that included. I laid down all the accessories that are different from the ground type Gundam, and I guess you can say it's a nice handful. I wish there were more, obviously, but hey, at least we got them finally. So we get a machine gun effect part, we get the two thruster effect parts, we finally get a beam rifle, which should have came with the original release, and then we get this, I guess what is the crown jewel, the bazooka, net launcher, what is this? I can't remember. Anyways, effect parts, you can obviously put this on any machine gun, but you're going to want to put it on your ground type machine gun. Boom, there you go. So yeah, finally nice to have that, and be careful when you pull it off. This does fit in there nice and snug and easily. It's not too stiff or anything like that. That's what she said. And it does come off with ease. Put that to the side. Beam rifle. The aiming handle does move around, and you can insert a beam rifle, or I'm sorry, beam saber effect part inside the barrel if I can get it on camera. There we go. So there, finally. Pull that off, put that to the side. I'll put the thrusters on probably towards the end of the video. Now we'll move on to this bazooka or net launcher. Now this tip here does come off, but it is really stuck in there. In the instructions, it tells you to take it off and then add on any attachment effect part that you have that correlates with the bazooka or whatever. You do have a hole in the back to put on any smoke effect parts as well. It's not bad. It's pretty cool, I guess. Handle does slide in and out, and then you have this secondary handle that moves a little bit as well. This lens seems to not want to just stay in one place. It's kind of all over, but that's cool. It is painted and whatnot. You got a little laser guidance system right there, I guess that is. But yeah, some of these accessories you just kind of wish you saw in the regular release. I almost forgot to mention that there's this accessory piece that attaches to the shield, allowing the shield to attach to the backpack. I don't seem to remember the ground type normal version coming with this, so I don't know why they included it in this one, if it was more necessary, if it's something they figured out after the fact, but I don't know. It just seems like an easy way to jack up the price, just throwing more accessories in there and saying that they're good. But yeah, there it is. That's all the different accessories you get. So here it is, the ground type, desert type Gundam. And yeah, I'm just really let down by this figure. I'll explain why in a moment. But I did attach the thruster effect parts. For some reason, they added an extra joint on them. Instead of just having a regular peg insert, they added this weird, this ball jointed peg, which you normally would see for like the hands. They added that in there. I don't know why. The thruster effects, or the thrusters, do have some articulation on the backpack already, so whatever, Bandai, that's a weird call to make. I did have the shield attached with the shield attachment as well, but it just seemed like too much for me. I don't know, just looks kind of weird. You can also tell that he's having a little bit of an issue grabbing that other handle on the bazooka or net launcher. Why? Well, that's the big issue I'm having with this figure. His articulation in the arms don't help in order to get those action poses. There's no bicep articulation, and there's no articulation in the elbow, which we've seen a lot of in other releases, and for some reason they just didn't want to do it with this one. And that kind of sucks, because you want to do action poses with this figure, and in my view, you really can't unless you really work for it. And I want this to be easy. I'm not a huge posing kind of guy. I like to have my figures in the box. But when I do poses, when I make my figures look posed for photos, I want it to be easy. I don't want to spend like an hour and a half posing the figure to make it look good. It should just look good out of the box. Because why? The price tag. After everything's said and done, shipping, this thing is probably like $80 to $100 what I paid. Not fun at all to see that being a big issue. But yeah, this is a huge letdown for me. I know I gushed over the ground type, and it was good for what it was, even though it was slightly less expensive. But all the accessories that were shown with this figure just kind of showed me how the regular release was a big letdown as well. We should have gotten those thruster parts, the beam rifle, and the machine gun effect parts with the regular release. There's no excuse. This was an obvious cash grab, which there's nothing wrong with that, but just add something. You know, we had the GM Qual come with a truck bed, for Christ's sakes. This should have came with at least a net and some smoke effect part for the bazooka itself, or whatever the hell it is. On top of that, maybe this guy could have came with battle damage parts to swap out. I mean, we know that the head can pop off because they're going to add that in an effect part box or part set, so you can switch out the ground type with the GM head. That's what this thing should have came with. Just a base, maybe, or like just battle damage parts. It sucks. It really sucks, and especially for the price you're having to pay for it. So in my view, and I'm a huge 08MS team fan, this is a pass. This is a huge skip. Don't bother. Unless you're trying to complete a whole collection, don't waste your money. It is really, really sad that, there's nothing special really about this figure. And yeah, that's all. That's all I can say. So, I don't know. Let me know in the comments below. What do you guys think? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Is there something I missed? Because I really want to know. I want to know if there's something special about this figure that I completely missed, and then I'm making the bad call on for my final thoughts. But yeah, hit like, dislike, do all that good stuff, and I'll see you guys later. Bye. I just noticed something when I was finishing up this review. There is rotation in the shoulder, but it's right at the shoulder joint, and it is very tight. Wow, what a bad idea, Bandai. Great job.